Some people play a sport, but then there are the very, very rare few who change it forever. Today, we're talking about a true visionary, a guy who didn't just play football, he basically redesigned it from the ground up. His name was Johan Cruyff, the architect of the beautiful game as we know it today, and we're about to take a look at his blueprint. And it all comes down to this one single idea. This was his revolution. At a time when football was often about just being bigger and stronger, Cruyff said, no, no, no. The most powerful tool a player has is their mind. And honestly, this philosophy is the key to understanding his entire legacy. So that's the big question, right? How did one man's way of thinking completely rewrite the rules of the world's favorite game? We're going to dive into his genius on the field, the blueprint he created as a manager, and the principles he never, ever backed down from, all of which created a football dynasty that's still dominant today. Okay, so before he could teach his philosophy to the world, he had to prove it worked. And he did that on the pitch, with a ball at his feet. He was like a grandmaster playing chess, while everyone else was just, well, playing checkers. And this was his laboratory. Back at his first club, Ajax, under the coach Rinus Michels, Cruyff was the conductor of what they called total football. It was this fluid, super intelligent system, where your position on the field, it was just a suggestion, not a rule. You'd see defenders bombing forward to attack, and attackers tracking back to defend. It looked like chaos, but it was beautiful, organized chaos. And right at the center of it all, pulling all the strings, was the genius of Johan Cruyff. So did this crazy system actually work? Well, this number kind of says it all. Three European Cups in a row for Ajax. This wasn't just a great team, it was a full-blown dynasty. And it was all built on this revolutionary idea that thinking smarter could beat playing harder. And if you want to see his entire philosophy boiled down into one single iconic move, this is it. The Cruyff turn. It wasn't just a fancy trick, it was a thought process made physical. A moment of pure, unpredictable genius that would literally leave defenders frozen, wondering what just happened. So how'd he do it? Okay, let's break it down. It all starts with the setup. He fakes like he's about to pass or shoot, and he plants his non-kicking foot. The defender sees this and totally commits, thinking they know exactly what's coming next. Spoiler alert, they have no idea. And here's where the magic happens, the deception. Instead of kicking the ball, he uses the inside of his other foot to drag it behind his planted leg, and he swivels his whole body 180 degrees. It's just a single, fluid motion of pure misdirection. And then, the getaway. With the defender completely off balance, looking the wrong way, he just explodes into all this new space he's created. Plant, swivel, explode. It's like a 3-act play of footballing genius, and it all happens in less than a second. Then, in 1973, he took his revolution to Barcelona. And get this, he famously chose them over their rivals Real Madrid because he refused to play for a club that was associated with the dictator Franco. So his arrival wasn't just a big signing, it was a huge statement. And of course, he immediately led them to their first title in 14 years. He became a symbol of hope. But as amazing as he was as a player, you could argue his greatest impact came after he hung up his boots. It's what he built as a manager, turning his own individual brilliance into a system, a philosophy that would last for generations. Just take a look at this timeline. When he came back to Barcelona as manager in '88, he wasn't just there to win a few games. He was there to build an empire. He completely overhauled their youth academy, La Masia, and then the first team went on to win 4 league titles in a row and the club's very first European Cup. The result of all this was his legendary dream team, and they were called that for a reason. They played with a style and a swagger that just captivated the entire world. They were the ultimate expression of his philosophy. Attack, keep the ball, and just outthink your opponent. But trophies get dusty, This right here is his true immortal legacy, La Masia. He transformed their youth academy. He insisted that every single team, right down to the little kids, play the exact same way as the first team. He wasn't just coaching players. He was building a sustainable system for creating genius, an idea factory. So what can we all take away from this incredible life? Because it's about so much more than just football. It's really a blueprint for innovation, for leadership, and for creating a legacy that actually means something. His whole philosophy can really be broken down into 4 powerful lessons, and these are the pillars of his genius. And honestly, they apply to any field, any ambition you have, anything you want to do in life. Think about it. Cruyff's ideas were totally radical. His high-risk attacking style was the complete opposite of the safe, defensive football that was popular at the time. He was willing to have people call him reckless because he had this unshakable belief in his vision. Greatness, it seems, demands that you're willing to break a few rules. This goes right back to that first quote, doesn't it? You play with your brain. Cruyff saw the game as a puzzle of space and geometry. He taught his players that being in the right place at the right time is way more effective than just running around like a headless chicken. It's about working smarter, not just harder. I mean, anyone can win a trophy, but Cruyff's goal was so much bigger than that. With La Masia, he built a system that would keep producing excellence long after he was gone. A true legacy isn't about what you accomplish, it's about empowering others to carry on the work. And finally, this might be the most important one. Cruyff was famously outspoken. He clashed with club presidents, with officials, because he stood by his principles, whether it was about players' rights or how the game should be played. He taught us that a legendary reputation isn't just built on talent, it's built on character. And the impact of that character, of that genius, man, you can still feel it today. His revolution never really ended. Its echoes are absolutely everywhere in modern football. I mean, just look at these names. Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Pep Guardiola, they are all direct descendants of the school of thought that Cruyff built at La Masia. He didn't just coach a team, he inspired whole generations of artists who would go on to define football for decades to come. Ultimately, what Cruyff gave us wasn't just a history of wins and losses. He gave us a new language, a new lens to see the beautiful game through. He showed us it could be an art form, a science, a ballet of the mind. And we'll end with this, his ultimate challenge to all of us. It's not enough to just win. You have to win with style, with intelligence, with beauty. That was his whole ethos. Don't just reach your goals, make the journey itself a masterpiece. And that is the timeless lesson of Johan Cruyff.